It's another original BW Sports 1 production.
Pew pew!
What's going on, folks? That's right. The one, the lion, the Dukes of Football.
Finally, the Lion has come back to Dukes of Football.
Just in time for week 1 of some NFL football action, baby. That's
Dun,
right.
dun, dun, dun. I don't know. That's the
Dun,
wrong
dun,
music.
dun, dun.
There it is.
What's happening?
Nothing, man. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I'm dipped in butter and I'm
Dipped
glossing.
in butter. Oh, shoot.
You know, it's a Pittsburgh kind of week. You know what I mean?
Well, for
After
you,
Michigan.
I understand. For me, it's the other side of the Keystone State, being in Philly, baby. We going to New England.
You are. Should be a pretty spectacular show from your standpoint. Really sure about the evil empire.
I'd like to think so. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean,
Boom.
I mean, I figured you guys aren't going to be a flop this year. You know what I mean? You know,
I hope
some
not.
participants
Good
in the Super Bowl
Lord.
turn out to be that way.
Well, we did the year after our Super Bowl win, so hopefully nothing changes. We're still on the same path we were on last year.
I would enjoy that. Not really, but for you, I would enjoy that. Oh man, I'll just back out of the fray.
He's got his
Back in the
standing
fray.
desk post. He loves it. He loves it. We could
I do.
see now half of the full feature of the one instead of just like a quarter of them.
Right, I mean, you can see my plumpness.
If he if he heads back to the corner, folks, that means somebody is in trouble. You
I don't
when
know
you
about
got
in trouble. I'm just not believing your smoke.
So you might see him back up on a very, very frequent occasion.
Oh wow. But I mean, it's been a couple weeks. We missed out on a couple things with you. Like we had it all set aside for your annual 6 minute week 6 rant about rankings.
I still got it this week from what happened the first week, or week 2. Sorry,
Week
week
2.
1,
So
whatever it was.
that was week 1 last week because week 0 was
Week
you
0.
guys in
That's right. Week
Ireland.
0. So stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a way to. I don't know what it's for, but it sounds cool sometimes. Hey,
What's
look, it's
happening,
Matthew.
Mr. Source himself? Howdy, folks. Howdy, folks. Spectating tonight. We appreciate all the help and support while I was incognito.
Incognito, 16%.
See, I can't say that. You can for me because you
Well,
know.
I don't think nothing's wrong with Negro, is it?
I don't know.
Again,
I'm not
I don't
even.
know the etiquette on Negro.
I'm not even tiptoeing the line. All right.
Like, I don't know the etiquette on Negro if you're describing. You know what I mean? Like, back then the Negro slaves. I mean, I don't know, man. I might have to check with my
Did they
my
call
hierarchy of the NAACP.
speed dial?
We all have it. and half of us have Al Sharpton, and the other half have Jesse Jackson. You just take your choice.
So
I'm
true.
going down the rabbit holes. I need to pull myself out of.
It's true though.
It's true. So, how's baby girl volleyball doing?
Uh, man,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a heck of a season. I tell you what, I never thought that volleyball was going to be. I gotta get a new chair. The volleyball was going to be as um up tempo. I guess I don't know how else to say it. I mean, these girls get into it, and it's fun to watch.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What the hell did you think volleyball was?
Well, I mean, I know what volleyball was, but I never actually remember going to a game and watching volleyball players. I
You don't
may
remember because you didn't go.
no, I probably went a couple games in high school here and there, maybe once, but I don't remember. I've slept since then a few times.
I'm gonna tell you the only volleyball matches I went to in high school was when we was passing through the gym to the locker room from finishing up our practice.
Well, there you go. They're in Zionsville tomorrow, so that'll be an
Cool.
interesting one.
Hey, you're up this way.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. It's that, and I wasn't able to make it to what was it, Westfield?
Yeah, that's up here. Yeah, in high school you got to travel, buddy.
Ah, man, good thing Brownsburg came to us.
Understand. You said you are not allowed to miss any more shows.
We put them on. We put them on the bench.
No, the source is good people, man. Y'all treat him right. You know what I mean? He's good people.
That's
Even though he
right.
likes Penn State.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I want that's another topic.
I don't have bad blood against Penn State. I just like picking at his scabs.
Yeah. It's too easy, man. It's too easy.
You ready to get into it?
Yes, sir.
We
Let's
got
roll.
quite a bit.
It's gonna be a blockbuster night.
Blockbuster. You remember that
I'm making
TV
it a
show?
blockbuster night.
I was going to ask you, remember that store? Did you have a Blockbuster, or were you old enough to have a Blockbuster card?
Yeah.
Just checking. You know what I mean? Because you are 10 years younger.
I did. No, I'm not 10 years. I'm like 8.
8
and a half.
two high school terms.
Yeah, right.
All right. So I guess that means we'll start with high school football.
It's good.
It's good. Hey, it's actually kind of exciting if you're not a Pike Red Devil.
What happened there?
Oh my God, Ben Davis beat the shellackings off of them last week.
Oh, well.
Like, we don't even want to talk about it. So we'll just go to the top 25.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to the Flashes here. Franklin Central on the top 25 in the state. Good job, boys. Keep it up. They beat Roncalli this year. That was fun to watch.
Don't you love it when you have to watch your child's school beat up on your school?
Well, I'd probably have a different sense of mind if it was still actually the same school that I went to.
This dude here. I'm not even talking about it. You know, Georgia played nobody too, by the way. Every time listen, I have a response.
Notre Dame played Tennessee State.
Like every time somebody says Michigan played soft schedule, I will go right to Georgia with the 31st ranked difficult schedule in the country, and Michigan is like 20. So back up.
There he goes.
But anyway, that's beside the point. We're going to talk about this right here. Now, this is an accumulation of all of the classes of football. But the one thing I want to check out right here is this one right here. If you go halfway down, all the way towards the bottom of the first row, around 13, you see that Lawrence North? Listen, I don't ever remember that school being ranked on this side of rankings in a long time. I could be wrong because I didn't really follow it that much, but seeing Lawrence North for the football rankings, it's pretty good, especially if they're in the 6A class too. It's pretty
That's true. That is true.
good.
Man,
Hey,
he is
get
on
him
it.
out of here.
He is on it. You're gonna force yourself on tonight, Matthew.
But
Don't
I'm
do
not
it.
playing with him tonight. I'm not playing with him tonight. We have business to talk to.
All right, week 3, Indiana State football. It is going well around the state. I can't wait to see some more action on Friday nights under the lights, baby.
Yeah, there's a couple games I would actually like to check out, but the chances of me actually doing it is probably slim. So I'm gonna probably reach out to our guy James Shea, who came on a couple times last season to talk a little bit about high school football. I might reach out and talk to him to catch us up. But the only game I'm looking forward to is the Lawrence North Warren Central game at the end of the month on the 29th, because that was when the class of 1993 will be celebrating their 30th high school reunion.
Damn, now you do feel old, don't you?
Yeah, bro, 30 years, like 30 years. 30, like a whole person.
Yeesh.
Like a whole person. Hey, man, nobody's thinking about you, Matthew. Hey, block his comments. All right, so I guess it's time to get into some NCAA. We can't put it off any longer. I mean, there was just so much that was going on for this first weekend of NCAA football. From I think it was like what 4 upsets, 2 top tens dropping out, one dropping out of the rankings. Although we got a school dropping out of the rankings that played in the national championship. You had a school that didn't win but one game. Start the year off with the most fabulous of all fabulousness. Man, what an exciting. And Ohio State dropped 3 rankings, even though 3 spots, even though they won.
You got to throw that in there, and I don't blame you.
did.
You know, for the Michigan fan you are, have at it every time you get a chance. I do the same. You know that. But as we're talking about Colorado's win over TCU, and we're talking about falling out of the rankings after week 1 and all this, I told you I was going to have a little bit. I got to throw it in there. This is an exact great freaking example of why there shouldn't be any rankings until week 6. And I'm starting to believe, okay, why don't we start at week 4? I'll cut it 2 games back, okay? Because every team plays at least 2 out of the first 3 games against duds, against practice players to them and all that. And then they'll have one of those 3 games is going to be a little test or a big test to set them off right or set them back 10 steps. TCU shouldn't have been ranked. Okay, period. We saw what happened to them against Georgia. You have the hype of Deion Sanders, coach prime time, coming for you with that team he put together. You're not going to tell me that TCU was a top 25 team. But you will tell me that Colorado is penetrating. Now I know they've made it into the top 25.
Penetrating.
I know it. You like that? They should be penetrating, lingering around that top 25 spot. You know, absolutely after that. And it's not like they don't have a tough schedule ahead of them.
Yeah, they got a tough one coming, but I mean, you got to look at it as Matt has said in the comments about Shedeur Sanders and the game that he had with 510 rushing yards, a couple touchdowns, a couple excellent moves that he made just by moving himself, shifting himself in the pocket. Looked like a seasoned veteran out there playing quarterback. But as great of as a game that he had with setting records with Colorado and setting records with the NCAA or the FBS debut of most yards thrown, that's amazing. But to me, he wasn't even the best player on the football field.
Who do you think was?
Man, it has to be Hunter, bro. It has to be Hunter. This guy played 119 snaps on both sides of the ball. So that meant that, they punted, they did the kickoff. He went to the sideline for the kick of the turnover of kickoff or the punt, and then he comes back and he plays defense. You know what I mean? He had 11 catches for over 100 yards, which was one of 4 receivers that had 100 yards. So he had 100 yards receiving, and he gets an INT. You haven't seen a guy do things like that since Champ Bailey and God damn it, Charles Woodson from Michigan. You hadn't seen these things from a defensive player. Like, to me, he's the dude that's leading the Heisman for me. If you have to start talking about it.
if we are looking at week 1 statistics, week 1 highlights, week 1 play, show up to the game and play the game, absolutely 100%, because exactly right, you do not see that anymore. That is phenomenal play. Now, can he keep it up? Is he going to be forced to keep it up? I hope not. I hope he's not forced to play both ways for the whole season or something like that, for his own body. But it's exciting to watch. And for him, absolutely, if we are looking at week 1, he's definitely in the top of the race. Now, on a second note, you mentioned four upsets, and I'm looking at the Clemson Tigers falling to a conference rival that has never really been a rival on the football field before in their life. Comes in and not only beats them, but literally dominated that team. The only way they scored, the Clemson Tigers scored, is from a muffed punt, and they got the ball at like the 17 or something like that.
He said muffed.
Muffed. Penetrated and muffed in the same show, folks. That's how we're starting this season off. Damn straight, baby. But no, and serious, it's like, I don't know, man. That's a hell of a win for Colorado. But is Duke a better win than Colorado just because? Why I think that is because Clemson, in my mind, and we've seen it over the past couple of years, dwindling. That right there is a statement that says that boy, Dabo, has no control over his football program anymore.
I mean, having control and the football team not winning are completely two different things.
I'm not saying. I think when you think what I'm saying with control is totally different. What I mean. Let me rephrase that. That boy Dabo Sweeney is dangling on for his job in Clemson because Clemson football is dying.
I don't want to know. That's the exact same question I asked the source last week, but with a different team. I asked him with Alabama. You know what I mean? Is everybody catching up, or is Nick Saban losing it? Is Dabo losing it, or is everybody catching up? You know what I mean? It's on the same scenario. I kind of want to lean to everybody's getting better. Like you were what people were striving to be like, and these guys are coming up. You know what I mean? I think the Colorado win was still bigger, even though it was a 17th ranked team in the country. I think the Colorado win was still bigger because of the decrepitness of the Colorado program for our, 20, 25 years since Cordell Stewart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a laughing stock of every conference it's been in. It was in the Big 12, got booted out. Well, I don't know about booted out, but then went to the Pac 12 and still doesn't look good. And Dion comes over and re-energizes a complete program, a complete school, and a complete town. You know what I mean? Like, he's dancing with the 80-year-old, with a 100-year-old woman in Colorado. Probably the first time she's ever danced with a black man in her life, mind you. But but with Duke has put quarterbacks in the league. You know what I mean? Duke has put players in the league. Duke has been a conversation in the ACC on the football side every 4-5 years. They'll get a team where they're talked about, they can beat somebody. So I feel that Duke was in a better place to win against Clemson than it was with Colorado and TCU.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but to I don't know. It's just to dominate the team like you did, 28-7. I mean, you scored on an ACC team that everybody said for the past so many years should be in the SEC because that's how they play football. And now you got Duke, which you're right, has been in that conversation every so often. They have a win here and there, like Notre Dame a few years back, like this win obviously against Clemson. But I wouldn't say that Colorado, I think, is in a better place overall than Duke is overall in their program. And I think,
Now,
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. But I think they were there the moment Sanders came or signed on to Colorado. I think Duke is still 3 steps away from having a solid program, a program that you are in the mix of talking discussions of the ACC at least.
yeah, Duke is only good in football every 4 or 5 years. They're consistent on that. They don't change. Their money comes from basketball, lacrosse, and soccer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see what else we got on here. We can't get out of here by talking about this LSU and Florida State. Florida State being one of those football teams that we were talking about who is catching up with Clemson in the ACC. And the chant is, and I'm going to ask you, is Florida State back all the way, or is just a very good showing of what we expect Florida State to be?
We've talked about Florida State for the past few years, and I have been saying that Florida State is a team to watch out for, and then they let me down every year. But something different about the way that they took it to LSU like they did. I mean, that team went in there and said they called them number one up and down the field the whole night long. The attitude, the aura that Florida State has right now, I think that if I was to say, are they back? Yeah, I'd probably say I feel more comfortable saying that they're back now than I did the past 2 years.
I would agree with that because we have talked a bit about Florida State over the past few seasons. Just enough to us to think that this might be a turning point. I'm not saying they're a complete national championship contender to me, but I think that they can be by the end of the season. You know what I mean? There's a couple games, the Clemson game, North Carolina game, that they're going to have to play this is going to show. And track record for Florida State, win a big game, lose 2 bad games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm holding out my reservation for them.
They got to be consistent. I think that we will be talking about them for the ACC championship game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm burping bacon.
It even tastes good coming up the second time.
It does. That's terrible.
Bigger question was Brian Kelly effect like he had at Notre Dame. You know what? Yeah, I mean, Brian Kelly's Brian Kelly. It's how I feel about him. There's no love lost. Like I talked to him like we were chums back when he was coaching Notre Dame, and now he doesn't call me because I told him to f off because he's an idiot. No, I don't know, man. Brian Kelly is. I'm gonna be like Thumper. If I don't have nothing to say, nice. Don't say anything at all.
Like I said, Thumper. No, Brian Kelly is exactly who we are, what we thought they are. I mean, I think there's a
He is who
reason.
we thought he was.
I mean, he really is. You know, what I mean, I thought, if he dropped an accent, left his family back down there, he'd be all right. But he did the same thing in Notre Dame, as in you're isolating those kids on an island. You know what I mean? Like, you tell them in the locker rooms that we win together and we lose together. When Brian Kelly's teams loses, man, does he dump on his players. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see you being critical at some things, but as a teaching method, a coaching method. But it was like, you was just like, damn, like, hey, I told him and he just did whatever he wanted to do. Yeah, like, but he did that shit in Notre Dame. So, I mean, I'm not the biggest Brian Kelly fan.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him just about as much as I like Chip Kelly. So,
me too.
Something about them Kellys.
Man, it is something. You know how hard it was as a Notre Dame fan to pick that game anyway? You got Florida State, who there's the rival that goes back for history. And then you got Brian Kelly as the LSU coach. Let me just tell you, I'll never bet on Brian Kelly.
Yeah, that's like me on foreshadowing. It's like me. I'm not going to ever bet on fucking what's the old dumbass name? Ole Miss's coach, Lane Kiffin.
Oh yeah, Kiffin.
Yeah, I don't care. No. Screw you, buddy. All right, last thing with college before we move on to some NFL.
Oh, I'm sorry. Speaking of LSU, got their quarterback Jalen Daniels got rocked. By the way, at the line, did something stupid, tried to jump over linemen with linebackers coming at him, and what was it? Tatum something. I mean, he rocked him. I had to throw that in there. I wish we could use highlights one day.
Yeah,
we'll be able to.
We don't have the copyrights for that, but he tagged him. Yeah, that's where they tell you. Like we had to say it in basketball: don't jump don't leave your feet to pass the ball. Mm-hmm. Same thing in that situation, bro. Stay on your feet, man, because you might have been able to get down. You took a lick, but he got up. He got up.
Still got rocked.
I thought they should have checked you for concussion protocol, but they're selective on that.
Oh, absolutely, they are.
But let's get to the last thing with college at this moment. Hey, who is the strongest mascot in all of college football?
That dude is got to be tired. I don't know how his arms were working this weekend, if they were or not. God love that man, Damon. Who was that?
It was an Oregon Duck mascot. I really think he needs to be one. They probably dropped him the day after, or they need to be investigated for the fact that there's more than one Oregon Duck mascot.
There has to be. The dude did 580 push-ups because they scored 81 points. And every time they score, he does the push-ups of the score. Holy shit.
Yeah. So just for foreshadowing, in 3 games, Colorado plays Oregon.
Yep.
I don't think Oregon's going to score 81 points, but Oregon's offense is a lot better than TCU's offense.
Absolutely it is.
I'm just going to put that out there.
Absolutely. Can't disagree with that.
and then you got Caleb Williams right after that. So
Eh,
we're gonna really see. You know, I mean, no one really thought TCU was it, but people think Oregon and USC is it.
they found out quick. No.
Hey, but he
Uh,
was also the Oregon mascot was also in that mascot game where it was a combine of NFL, NBA, and college mascots doing that football game against the youth league kids.
oh, that laid him
And
out.
yes, and the coach. Oh, what is my guy's name? The coach
Oh,
mascot,
Blue.
Blue. Why is he going all? I mean, balls to the wall on these little 12-year-old boys, man.
That's funny. That was funny.
If you
Yeah,
guys hadn't seen it,
he
look it
had,
up. It's some funny ass shit.
he had to. You know what? This is a perfect segue comment. All right. The source wants the Kelly brothers, and I'll call them the Kelly brothers. I know they're not brothers. Should coach the Eagles, so they have to wear the Kelly green every week. Hey, you know what, Matt? I love some Kelly green, and I love me some NFL football. And Damon,
Oh,
that's what we're getting into
I'm
after
sorry, I
the top
forgot to give him.
25.
I forgot to give him the top 25. There
Damn.
it is. We talked about it. You seen it. Now it's gone.
Oh shit! Does that
No,
really
that's not
matter?
right either. Let's take it off. We're talking about NFL. That's what we're talking about.
Man, I thought I pulled a nice segue off.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. It was perfect. And I screwed it up.
It's all right. Everything else gets blamed on you.
That's fine. That's fine. So we have now entered week one of the NFL 23-24 football season.
Bum, bum, bum,
And opening
bum.
game is tomorrow night with the up and coming Detroit Lions and the defending Super Bowl champs, the Patricia Mahomeses.
Well, I don't think that people are really. Well, I want to say people. When I say people, I don't know if I'm meaning the general population more so. Think that Detroit is really the hype is real in Detroit, and I'm here to disagree with your disagreement. I think the Detroit hype is legit to a point. I mean, they still have some pieces that they could definitely uh, improve on, but they have a strong foundation, and they are heading into Arrowhead, and it is a little rough going to Arrowhead for anybody, especially kicking off the season on Thursday night. It's going to be tough for Jared Goff.
The only difficulty I see there is that this game is on Prime. But that's other than that.
I have
we
pride.
could, yeah, I do too. But we can dive into that game because that is one of our pick games. Was that one of our pick games? Yeah, that was one of our pick games.
I think
Was that
so.
one of our pick games?
I think so.
I think so. Let me look right here. Yes, it was one of our pick games. There you go. See how easy that was.
Yeah,
But
there
there's a
it is.
couple of other things I'd like to chit chat about with you
Yes,
for
sir.
NFL.
Yes, sir.
So, first question is there's a couple people out
Mm-hmm.
this upcoming week one. I know Joey Bosa just signed his contract, but is he going to be ready to play Sunday? That is the key. So, but would you have these certain players out? Who of these missing players is going to be more of a key factor, or their missing game is going to be more of an impact of their game? You got questionable Bosa, you got the Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman, you got Kelsey from the Chiefs, and you also have I can't think of his name for on the defensive side of the ball that is not playing in that first game. Who makes more of a negative impact not being there?
I'm going to say Cooper Cup for the Rams because they are playing Seattle. That's a division matchup to start the season. You don't want to start off 0-1 for the season, but you definitely don't want to start 0-1 in the division to start the season like that. And with Cooper Cup being out, I really think that Stafford is in a little bit more trouble than what he was before Cup was ruled out for the game. Hopefully, it doesn't last too long. It's sounding like maybe he'll be back for week 2. For them, for Stafford, for that offense, they definitely need him on that field. And like I said, with this being a divisional matchup, I think that is the worst loss for week 1 on injuries wise.
Naturally, I have to disagree with you because I didn't have them. I didn't have them being a factor, regardless if he was playing or not playing. So, but
Touche.
yeah, him him not being there is going to be a huge impact or a negative impact. But we saw it already. It was last year without him, Stafford, Odell. You know what I mean? So we saw what they're going to look like. Didn't think it was going to change with him. So it kind of puts me in the same position. And plus, I have high hopes for Seattle, so I didn't have them losing that game in the first place. If
No,
I
me
had an
neither.
impact player, I'm going to go. I'm going to stay with that and um, Detroit and Kansas City game, and it's not for Travis because I think Mahomes will be able to um, spread his stuff out, as he needed with the people not being there.
Spread
It's
your
the
wings and
defense.
fly.
It's a defensive guy who not being there with the impact of the way the Lions try to run the ball and run play action with golf. So that's the one that I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely going to be a factor. And granted, both of those teams are going to be, projected playoff teams. So
All right. I got another one for you.
yes, sir.
Who will start the season 0-1? The Jets, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, or the Giants?
Well, the Jets play the Bills at home.
Correct. One of our games.
hmm
Foreshadow.
The Chiefs play at home against Detroit. The Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken, hold on here. Who did the Dolphins
Chargers.
play? The Chargers at LA.
That is correct.
And then the Giants play.
I almost picked this Dolphins Chargers games as one of our games.
Hold on here. Let me see. I can't remember who the Giants play. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm
They're
looking.
playing the Cowboys.
Oh,
You should have noticed that how fast Matt answered that question.
I'm sorry. I wasn't seeing that. Well, the Giants will go 1-0. Because they always play better during the beginning of the season than they do at the end of the season, and you guys are kind of flip flop on that. The Chargers take on the Dolphins at home. That's going to be a long trip for Miami, going cross country, first game of the season. Uh, And you got the Lions and the Chiefs. And aren't these all of our pick games? I mean, that ain't right.
No,
We're supposed
well, just two of them. Just two of them.
Okay, I
Just two.
say there's going to be the record with all 4 of those teams in week 1 will be 2-2.
Sounds good. I know which two. I know which two. All right.
Hater. Look at him. He's hating.
Let's do some over under. Let's do some over under.
All right.
All right. Since there's been an extreme amount of hype around the New York Jets and A Rod,
Hey, Ron.
Ron. So does Aaron Rodgers for 30 touchdowns this season?
Under. I'm going to say 27. He's not really consistent with being over 30 in a year. He's had years, obviously, that he has. He's getting used to a new system, a new team, a new line, a new everything. Yet he is a veteran. I will say that. And I still think he's going to struggle more than people are saying. He's going to be the savior in New York.
Hey, why is your guy so bitter, man?
I told you. That's what I'm saying. He is hating.
Man, why is the guy so bitter? Like,
Yeah.
dang.
I mean, I would be bitter too if I can never watch my Super Bowl again because they don't make VHS players.
So you beat me to it. I would say win the Super Bowl since last century. That's what you do.
You see that? That's funny. Look,
that is. I see it.
that's how many Super Bowls that they have in the last 3 decades.
But anyway, we're not gonna dog the Cowboys like we did dog Penn State. We'll be nice today. But yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go under for Aaron Rodgers on that. One, I don't think that he's going to have that many opportunities to do it. One, he's a solid as a defensive and running coach, run the ball type coach, and that defense is supposed to be, excellent. Like if you hear everybody talking, the Jets are supposed to be in the Super Bowl from the AFC, but I don't really have the Jets winning their division. I have the Jets damn near being a wild card team. So, so I have him under 27. All right, here's one. Oh, I guess we are going to dog the Cowboys
a little bit. You giving me the opportunity, man.
I do. One, should Dak be on alert about his job, or is that just normal NFL business practices? And on top of that, his over under 10 interceptions for the season.
Okay, well, I'll start with the bringing in of the Trey. I'll call him the Trey because wasn't he the 3rd pick overall, or was he the 1st pick?
He was not the first pick. Okay. I think he was a 4th round pick. Was it over 10? Over 10. He's talking about interceptions. Oh, well, damn! He's saying his team is not going to the
At least I'm agreeing with him on something here. We'll get into that really quick. There you go. Yeah, I'm definitely going over. I'm saying he throws probably about realistically, I'm going to say 14 to 16.
I was going 13. I'm going
to say he's going to be in the 14 to 16 range. Trey Lance won't put Dak on the hot seat. He could never beat out Sam Darnold. Okay, so I'm not necessarily saying that he's going to beat him out. So to go back to the original question, do I think that he's on the hot seat? No. Is he should be worried about his job? Not necessarily yet. However, I will say, if he cannot stay healthy, that's going to be the issue because they do have somebody that can produce potentially, but there's a wide potential range in that. We've seen what he can and cannot do, but I don't think we've seen the full Trey Lance in the NFL yet. Maybe because of the system. Now, I'm not saying he's a great god and the next quarterback coming or whatever, but I think he's got more potential in him that he's been able to show in the past year. But no, I don't think he's in the hot seat.
I think Dak should be on alert when it comes to his job. One, because Jerry Jones is not stupid. He's not well liked, but he's not stupid. I mean, he's a businessman and he does things his way. I think him bringing in Trey Lance is to put a fire under Dak. I mean, listen to the conversations that Dak has with the media now that Trey Lance is there. He's a little more urgent. It's a little more emphasis in his voice, as he's talking about preparing for the start of the season. And I think that was a move that Jerry Jones was intentionally doing. Point two, Dak's got money things that he needs to be discussing with Jerry Jones in the next season. Jerry Jones, this is an evaluation of Dak Prescott for Jerry Jones. Do I move forward? You know what I mean? Give this young boy a chance who has been in a situation where he hasn't had the opportunity to develop what they thought. One, because somebody was always in front of him. And every time he got on the field, he got hurt. So they either the 49ers training staff or his offseason regiment or whatever. But I feel that he is pushing him, put him there to push him, not to say that he's going to be the next coming of quarterbacks, but he can be the reason why Dak gets this this extension, so to speak.
I could definitely see that. Yes, we know Jerry Jones is stupid.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones is going to run his organization the way Jerry Jones is running his organization. That's why you haven't won a national championship. I mean, a Super Bowl since 1997.
Only people in Indianapolis area knows what I was doing there.
Yeah, but he does look like a lemon head that just sucked off all the yellow.
He does. He does. He looks like what's his name, Mr. Burns.
Excellent.
That
would be an excellent Halloween costume for somebody.
Jerry Jones or Mr. Burns?
Either one. They're the same.
Kind of looks like Biden. I'm sorry, folks. I don't usually throw a political thing at all in here,
we're being consistent.
Yeah.
We're being South Park. We're being even. Everybody's getting a little bit of it.
Yeah, it don't matter who you are. We love all y'all.
No, we don't. All right, moving on, sir.
Let's see. What do we got?
Oh, we have the Elite Performance Performers. Elite Performers is brought to you by Elite Performance, where the dream of elite fitness becomes a reality. Call 765-499-1005 and let the Red-Headed Hulk get you in elite shape. Who's your elite performer or performers for this past week?
The whole defense of Duke. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm on them. That's some good shit. You held their offense to a goose egg other than that little slip up due to your own mistake. So hats off to you guys. Awesome job.
My elite performer, I'm gonna stay in that Colorado game, man. I'm gonna go with Hunter, man, because I'm just excited to see a two-way player.
I was waiting on that. I was about to say that earlier, but I'm like, nah, I'm not going to play defense after scoring points. He's a two-way player. That's called two-way Iron player. Man for a reason.
Yes.
I mean, that dude.
I think I wanted to give him my inner beast, but I felt that somebody else got that. But I thought he was more the elite performance for the fitness of it. You know what I mean? Because that's what the Red-Headed Hulk does. He gets you in peak fitness shape. So I went with him. You know what I mean? 119 snaps on both sides of the ball. Field temperature was 136 degrees, and you're playing both sides of the ball, not leaving the player field. Yeah, that's my guy right there, Hunter, the hunted.
No, he is.
And then that brings up a new and that brings up a new segment for us.
The Beast Within. Brought to you by Inner Beast Sportswear. Check out all the new logo designs and announcements over at BWSPORTS1.com that we can now share once in on the book. By the way.
By the way. Oh, yes. I am waiting. Like I was telling Steven, I am still rocking my 10-plus-year-old Inner Beast Sportswear. So he, like I, are ready for new Inner Beast Sportswear apparel because we unleash our inner beast.
Yes, sir.
Mine
Yes,
just
sir.
happens to eat chicken, bacon. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go with Texas State
Mm,
over Baylor,
mm,
42-31. This is one of the upsets we talked about.
mm.
42-31. It is the first win over a Power 5 team for Texas State.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
recruited by Texas State. That's why I put that on there.
I'm gonna have to change mine. We've been talking about the Duke, Clemson, and the Colorado TCU game. I'm gonna have to agree with you with the Texas State. That was a big win for them. Baylor coming off of past 2-3 seasons that they were right in the mix of a national title, playoffs, and all this, that, and the other, and then boom, you come out and do that. Yeah, hats off to you guys. That definitely unleashed their inner beast.
Yes. Yes, that worked out excellently.
Did
Well,
did.
I'm going to assume we don't have Raphael, so we're going to keep it moving.
Yep. He is a busy man. Our good buddy over at Doc Sports Picks and my bookie, and you can bet that the dude's got some crazy, crazy stats going on over there. So check out his books over there at youcanbetthat.com, mybookie.ag, and Doc Sports Picks. Text BW Sports to 29022.
I like the new what are they called? Prop bets. The one with the swimsuit model, the
Yo,
swimsuit
yeah.
edition. That's a good prop bet.
Yeah. Yep.
The whole Florida State as a whole grinding out.
He was saying that
Well,
that's his
it
inner beast.
might have been a grinding out in the first half. The second half was
Fly away.
it was like playing pitch and catch in the backyard. All right, so we started our network picks last week. We had all college games this week. We have some NFL games. So let's give the standings.
Mm,
Let's give the standings for after week one.
damn it.
Steven had a perfect score. He got all 5 games. He picked
Cheat.
both upsets.
Him and Raphael are sitting there. They're doing something against us, D.
Yeah, I believe it. So you got Tommy Boy and Greg are tied to second at 4, and all the rest of us are bringing up the rear with 3.
It's all right. We're gonna redeem ourselves and put us back on the top of the mountain next week, baby.
We got to do what we got to do. And so let's get started. Let's
All
get
right.
started. Well,
First,
we got Ole Miss and Tulane as our first game. Both of them 1-0. Both of them are ranked, but on the back half of the top 25, you have a a team coming of age, growing, getting better every year with Tulane. Had a big upset win in a bowl game last year. And then you have Lane Kiffin.
nobody likes Lane, but come on, man, it's Ole Miss.
Yeah, well, I already told you what.
I think that's a low. Honestly, I think that's a low line for this one. I think it's going to go over 62.5.
It probably is. I have the line up for our betting people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're using the line, and some of our people like to know. I didn't get a chance to change one of our NFL games because a lot of that one game changed after a couple injuries popped up. So we'll have to look it up once we get to it.
Oof.
But here is our split for Ole Miss and Tulane. Yeah, I'm doing it, bro. I told you. Not doing it.
He stuck to his guns on this one, boys and girls.
Look, I was going to pick an upset with one of these games this week. And I can't pick more than one, so it just had to be this one.
You could pick more than one.
I could, but I wasn't feeling that mojo.
Yeah. Source is saying 62, under 62 and a half, and Ole Miss covers. Oh, okay.
Okay, I
Keep
see
that
you.
on keep that on your radar, folks.
All righty. All right, so let's move to game two. We got Texas and Alabama. Bro, you don't know how bad I wanted to go for Texas here.
I was the exact same way, but the skeptical me is thinking, man, this is Texas's welcoming game into the SEC with none other than the SEC juggernaut, junior now, I should say, in Alabama. So I couldn't go against the home tide.
Yeah, I did go with Texas.
Ooh,
So I did pick two
man.
upsets. I did. I went with the
Ah.
Longhorns. Um, I don't know why. I can't give you a good definitive answer why. I just feel that Alabama, they want Alabama to be back so bad.
Yeah.
And I feel that Texas's defense is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Now, if Alabama wins, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm upset. But I kind of feel a little bit with Texas.
Oh, believe me, I would not. It would not hurt my feelings to get this pick wrong, one bit at all. I would love to see Texas pull out this win. I would love to. The only thing is, Texas has that one game where it's just like flop. Okay, I don't want it to be this game. But if they are going to lose a game, make it early enough in the season that you have some type of chance to redeem yourself in the SEC championship game.
Well, they're not going to be in the SEC championship game
Nope,
because
because
they haven't
Georgia's
made it
on
yet. They're still in the Big 12.
that.
Or are you talking about Alabama?
Well, yeah, Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, I
'Cause
was like, well, hold on there.
I was kind of confused who
My
you
bad.
were. Yeah, I was a little confused there.
My bad. I'm
That's why we cleared it up.
confusing.
All right, let's move it on to the next game. We have Texas A&M. I don't know why I didn't change the whatevers, but whatever. Texas A&M and Miami. They're both 1-0. You see the line on the bottom. Texas A&M is a 4-point favorite in Miami. I had to put a sucky game up. Like neither one of these programs is going anywhere. I mean, they keep talking like Miami is supposed to. Like I'm tired of hearing people talk about Miami, but I want to put it up there because I'm not a fan of either one of these schools. But if you got to pick one, I'm going with the U.
It was a good divisive voting on this game. We'll say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. This was
Matt, quit
almost a
calling me
story.
out, dude. Quit calling me out. You're a Cowboys fan. You have no room to stand on.
Oh, he said that. Okay, all right. Thank you, Matt.
My bad.
Oh,
My
it's
bad.
all
I
good.
thought no. I meant I would love to see Texas win. I would not hurt my feelings at all if they won that game.
Oh yeah, wouldn't hurt mine at all either. I'm
Nah.
not the biggest Nick Saban fan as it is, but next game we are in the NFL now, so we have the Detroit Lions. Exciting, a lot of hype in a division that's wide open. Aaron Rodgers is gone. Then you got the defending champs missing two key people. Who's gonna take it? Who is going to pick the kitty cats? Who's gonna
Mm,
do it? Is
I
it you,
would.
Dan? Is it
I
me?
would.
Is it Matt? Who's gonna do it? Nobody.
Nobody.
We're all high on the Lions, but nobody's picking them.
Again, Tim with the double M's is going with me on the same side. um,
Oh, damn it! I
I
didn't
would
change that one.
again. I would love to see Detroit win this game. But realistically, even with Kelsey possibly out, with what's his name,
Chris Thomas or Chris Jones? Jones. Jones.
Jones, yes, with them out, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to win. But I still think they win the home opener.
He is not going to leave you alone.
It's all right.
I feel this is going to continue into the message feed. No, I agree. And those injuries is going to be impactful, but they're getting their rings. They're at home. They don't lose at home, and you still got Patricia Mahomes. So, I only do that because we call him the
It's kind of
Bruce
like
Harper.
I was gonna say. It's
Yeah,
kind of like our Bruce Harper of the NFL.
yeah. All right, so let's switch games. We got the
Yep.
49ers and the Steelers.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
And Damon picked San Fran. He's got to go with his head, not his heart. That's what happens when you bet, and that's why he
You're
picked San
absolutely
Fran.
correct. But you're not.
Yeah. That's what I did. I went with my head, not my heart, because I have no heart for either one of these teams. But I really think that San Fran could be off to a slow start this year.
Yeah, I think they're going to be off to a slow start because we really don't know the status, the true status of Purdy's arm. Bosa did sign this contract, but we don't know if he's going to play on Sunday. And if he is, how effective is he going to be? I think this Steeler team is extremely underrated. Improvements on the offensive line, same aggressive defense. Yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be a good game.
It should be.
Yeah. I wish it was a prime time game.
Right.
This is for the early lead in a division that is wide open. You got the new Jordan Love Packers against the Justin Fields Bears.
And I think that it's go Pack go all the way to the big L in this one.
But you didn't send me Pack. Oh, you said the big L.
Ha
I had to look. Like, did I put it down wrong?
No, I don't think I think Chicago's in a way better spot in the division than Green Bay is with the moves that they made, the players that they have now. Chicago is an up and coming team, and I think Green Bay's kind of lingering. They're kind of teetering. Are they going to be good? Or are they not?
Yeah, I agree. I think Green Bay will start to get better as the season goes along, but it's going to be a smidge too late. This is a great way for the team that I picked to win this division, to start off the division at the top of the division. So that's how you have it. The Bears. All right, last game. Last game. What does he got?
Yep.
Well, agreed. See, Matt does know something every now and then.
Last game. Ask him who he goes for.
Bills
the Mafia
and Jets
versus the real Mafia.
Yes. So you got the stagnant Bills who just keep being in the same spot every year. We keep saying the same things every year. And then we have the exalted championships of the Jets. Like, everybody's already crowned them. I don't know why, but yeah.
Shut up. Doesn't this kind of remind you of the early 90s when the only difference is they actually made it to the Super Bowl 4 years straight?
That
couldn't.
Who, the Bills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stagnant. They can't get over the hump. I think that they have great potential. But Aaron is going to be in a world of hurt because his was it Brees something.
Yes, that
guy.
God,
I can't remember the running back.
Yes, that guy.
He's out. Well, questionable, I think, but I'm not too sure what that is. Source, I know you're in the background. Help me out here because you know my situation right now. Fun fact. No, since Josh Allen has been in the league, he's thrown more in interceptions than that. Brees Hall, that's what it was. Brees Hall. Thank you. Okay. And you still suck in the Cowboys swallow. So, Bills going to win this game. There it is. There it is, folks. I was waiting. It took just at the hour mark for me to send him to the corner.
You did. Just send me to the corner.
I did it.
Well, there you have. Those are our picks for this week.
I sent you to the corner. This is what I'm doing. It's like this. Mic drop.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun year between them two. I wonder when Tommy Boy's gonna get involved.
Yeah, he's coaching. He's doing a lot of coaching right now. He's coaching. The boys are in baseball, and Addie is in cheer. Now, obviously, he's not coaching that, but he's coaching both the boys.
Yes, let him coach with that flowing locks of his.
Can you imagine Tommy Boy doing cartwheels out there?
Yes, I can.
It's not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight.
All right, so I guess that pretty much wraps us up, bro.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. But it's that time of the week that we have to say goodbye for another 7 days, because we will be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure to tell our friends you want to be their friends as well. Elite Performance, Checkered Life Customs, you can bet that. Doc Sports Picks, MyBookie, The Fighter's Friend, The One's Kitchen, Interbeast Sportswear, and Southern Indiana Combat Productions, November 4th, Evansville, Indiana. Make sure to get your tickets now at southernindianacombat.com.
Southern Indiana Production.
1 month till hockey, the source says. Pay attention. You might see a new show designed logo coming soon.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bah.
I don't know what the hockey music is. I don't know. Does anybody know what the hockey music is? Hey.
What was that?
It's about time.
What was that?
Inside the NFL.
No.
Oh, that was NBA. That was NBA.
I was going to say that's the NBA on NBC.
He says, I know hockey music. A.
Yeah, A. Don't you know? He knows it.
I have poutine. That's hockey or Canadian.
That's not hockey.
I'm leaving.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Damon, it is that time. Like always, every week, what do we do?
We keep Indy dripping all that good sports goo.
Boom, boom. She can't hear me since I'm down here anymore. But you know what? We'll see y'all next week. And after that, I'm hitting.